Freedom Renegade Radio, baby. Episode 7?
7.
Damn, we're 7 in already.
It's the heavenly episode.
I hear people that do start podcasts that 90% of all podcasters don't make it past 21 episodes.
Yeah, I remember you told me that not too long ago.
To be successful in podcasts, that's like one of the big podcasters was like, 90% of people don't make it past 20 episodes, and like 93% don't make it past like 24.
It's weird because we did like 75 episodes before. We didn't get fucking anywhere with it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it was totally different back then. There wasn't like the avenues for podcasting like there is now. It wasn't just like you could do a podcast and throw it up somewhere or get sponsors.
We also didn't have an editor like we do now. Shout out to Fletch.
Podcasting is like probably fucking 10 times bigger now.
We didn't have an editor, and we didn't have to edit either because we would just record it right off the computer and into the microphones and just put it out like that.
We were doing it a few different ways too. We were going through Facebook. We were like recording it right into Facebook Live.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And then it was making us break it up on YouTube. For like we have
to
take
do 10-minute splits.
Yeah, but Joe Rogan was putting his on there for an hour. So it might be because he was monetized.
I don't know.
I don't know what it was, but we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah,
we didn't put a bunch of time into it like we should have to figure it out. But that's crazy.
78 episodes is a lot of episodes, dude.
We did 74.
Whatever. We did 70 plus.
We did 74, and then I got those stem cells.
That's wild. That's right, because you were laid up in bed for a long time from those stem cells.
We fucking could have started again after I got the stem cells. We just never did. It just wasn't.
We were busy. You got in trouble. You were going to prison.
That was a little bit after that, though.
Yeah, but we had that was like
4 years later.
Yeah, I'm just saying we had like a 3-year period of like waiting to see what was going to go on with you. But I know that there was like a period between that as well. But
yeah,
that 3-year period of waiting to see if you were going to go to prison every 6 months was crazy. We're like having a hard time booking shows because they're like, "Oh, will you come play?" And we're like, "We don't know if Chris is going to be around when that date is. We're going to find out what they say in court every 6 months, and every time they push her back and push her back." It's crazy.
I know, it fucking sucked, dude. I'm so glad that shit's just over, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm even right now, like I was telling you, dude, moving out of this apartment that I'm at right now, I'm moving into a different spot in town. It's like just the end of the line towards that shit.
The last thing, it's burning the couch.
I know. They're asking me, "You want to stay?" I'm like, "Fuck no." Can we get you to? Fuck no.
I wonder if you would have said like, "Yeah, for $300 less."
I didn't even. It's funny because it's funny when you brought that up to me because my mind state isn't even in that place of
deals,
bartering where they're like, create a deal. I'm like, I wasn't in the place of like, oh, if you drop the price, I'd stay.
Yeah,
it wasn't even about that to me. It's about happiness.
Yeah,
and I'll be happy on the east side of town.
Yeah, it's way better on that side, dude.
It fucking is, dude. And it's not. It used to be more expensive over there.
Yeah,
it used to be that the east side of town was a little bit more expensive than as you got closer to Meridian and Nampa. And now it's not that way. It's just as expensive all the way into fucking Nampa almost.
Yeah.
So why would I'll be paying less over here than I will be where I'm currently at.
Yeah.
Than I am where I'm currently at.
It's hard, man. Boise got so expensive when we first moved here. It was so cheap.
I know. We paid right down the street from where we're at right now. We paid $664.
Yeah, for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Wait, no, $665, $332.50 a piece.
For a 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, where I was living with me and Chris and Carly and Eric, we were paying $800 for 4 bedrooms.
I was paying $550 till 2019.
Yeah, I mean, in like a prime area, it's crazy how Boise. As soon as people started putting Boise on the #1 place to live on every goddamn magazine,
it's still fucking happening.
I know.
Dude.
It's not. I saw his number. I saw his number too the other day.
It's been happening. I wish that Fletch was here so we could look it up, or that I didn't break the computer so you could look it up, because we fucking had a. Dude, they've been on this list since like 2012, moving into
on multiple
today.
Lists.
It's like 12 fucking years plus.
Yeah.
It's just been on all these lists that it's like, Boise's great. Like, shut up.
All the good places.
Shut the fuck up.
All the good places.
Boise sucks.
All the good places that's happening to too. Like anywhere that's like Boise in the world, people are moving
like
to
Austin.
now. Yeah, Austin comes to mind. Like a bunch of places like that where people are hearing about it and moving there, and people are pissed.
Well,
that
it's
are
also
locals.
too because of people migrating out of fucking.
It's not just California.
Certain states, a multitude of states are having people leave. I saw a video on it just the other day. I think Pennsylvania and Massachusetts were part of that group.
It's hard to be. I'm sure.
I think that top 5 biggest states that you talked about, like San Francisco was probably a big part of, I mean, that's California, whatever. But yeah, a lot of those same states are having people just leave because their states are getting fucking crazy with different laws and different things people don't like, you know, populations, whatever. So they're like having actually a decline of population.
Yeah, I hate when people group all the Californians into one place here, though. They're like, Californians, you're not welcome here. I'm like, if you were them, you would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Acting like you wouldn't annoys me so much when people are like, they're ruining this place. Like, nobody's ruining this place. It sucks what's happening with hyperinflation, but they had an opportunity to move somewhere and save more money and get the fuck out of somewhere they didn't like. You know, it's like.
Have you ever seen the videos that are on TikTok where guys will walk up and they'll say, hey, how much do you pay for rent in New York or in San Francisco? Have you seen those? Mm-mm. I'll see videos like that. People might have ran into them online, but I'll run into them and dudes will be like in San Francisco and shit, or like New York, they'll be like, I pay like $2,200 for a bedroom.
Yeah. For a
studio. For a bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Like partitioned out.
Yeah, like kind of how Ben, like what Ben was doing.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Even less than that, it sounded like too, though.
Man, that was so cool.
Ben had like a living room within his dwelling.
That was so cool. When we went to San Francisco, though, we had 2 people. One guy just let us stay in his fucking house he's just like, oh yeah, there's roommates upstairs. Don't even worry about it. You guys can go sleep in my bed. And just let us stay at his house, you know.
Ben?
Like, no, that was Josh, Optic.
Oh,
he let us
shit.
stay there.
Yeah,
he just let us stay.
Downstairs.
And Ben too. He cooked us food, let us stay on his couch, and just kind of chill. And that was a small place, man. That was that's the first time I'd been in a place that was like a house sharing a kitchen.
That's what they do, dude.
And you have a little wing that's yours. That's like he literally had a bedroom and a hallway, basically.
You know what I'm noticing too is since I've been house searching.
There's a lot of those places.
No, like yes. So like when we've been we're Idaho boys, so we are not used to that type of living, bitch. And so we like what we described earlier. We were able to just get an apartment to ourselves when we were younger. You know what I mean? And like I was in a 1-bedroom house for $550 from 2012 till about 2019, and I had a front yard, a backyard, a fence, a 1-bedroom. Like it was all legit. You know, I fucking had good spots to park. Like it was good. And something like that somewhere else would be like thousands of dollars. But in places like San Francisco, it's what you just described, multi-dwelling situation where they share like a kitchen and a bathroom type shit.
Yeah.
And that is what's happening in Boise right now. When I was looking for places to live, it's like a lot of bedrooms for rent and a lot of shared spaces. Like it was like it's shifting into more of a metropolitan place and becoming more of that because it's so expensive.
It sucks.
It's weird. We're watching it happen before our eyes. I bet you in the next 15, 25 years that Boise's completely shrouded in that.
Yeah. It kind of sucks when you go from living in like, I mean, we grew up on a farm with like literally 100 acres of fucking land to
not more than that.
Whatever.
I'm
just throwing out a number for people to like comprehend, but we had an entire farm to ourselves to go play around and do whatever we wanted. Even when we moved into the other house, we had still a bunch of land, still could play around even at mom and dad's new house. And then moving here, it was weird, but I like the feeling of the city. I don't like being super close to people, but I like just having a regular house and a regular backyard. But man, you're right, it's just getting smaller and smaller. The amount of, like, even when people are buying land out here, they're buying like 1/3 of an acre. That's crazy. 1/3 of an acre, dude, to live on. It's wild to me, man.
I know. It's breaking down like that. That's how it goes. People move to cities. You know, Boise is a popular place.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
We're fucking dealing with it.
So it goes.
I'm still cool with living by myself and paying plenty after the fact, you know?
Yeah.
I considered moving in with like a couple people and sharing spaces, but the way I cook... the way I cook is too much, man. I fucking...
Tell them about it.
I just smoke the house out, dude. I like to fucking cook on cast iron skillets and fucking burn shit.
What is your...
I just turn
Let me ask you this. What is your logic behild putting oil in the cast iron?
I don't even use oil.
Heating it up so much that it smokes the house up. But you say you got to heat up.
So usually what I'll do is just fucking turn the burner on, put the skillet on, let it warm up, and I'll do something and it'll fucking get a little hot and I'll start to smoke a little bit. And then I'll put, by the time that I start cooking on it just fucking smokes.
When I asked you at the house, though, you say you got to warm the pan up every time.
I do warm the pan up. I just warm
Well,
the pan
you're
up. But then,
warming
like
up-
I
you're
said,
warming up the house.
I'll walk away and end up fucking getting it a little too hot.
Was it you that told me you like woke up with a burnt pizza in your oven the other day? That you woke up in the middle of the night and you had toasted a pizza?
I don't think
Maybe
so.
it wasn't you.
I don't
Maybe it
think
was
I had
somebody else.
toasted a whole. I don't put whole.
Might have
I
been
don't- I haven't
Cody.
eaten.
Cody might have been
I have like some
drunk.
slices of pizza from work that got left over, but I don't recall burning any pizzas
Okay. Yeah.
recently.
Doesn't matter.
I did burn some potatoes. Maybe it was the potatoes.
Okay.
It was. I did. I woke up at like 4 a.m. and my potatoes were just cooking. It was smoky as shit in the house. I'm surprised the fire alarm didn't go off.
Yeah, your fire alarm doesn't work.
No, it works. It's gone.
You set it off?
I've set it off like fucking 10 times in 6 months, dude.
I wanted you to tell me, you had a story you said you were going to tell me yesterday, but you were going to wait for the podcast.
So I saw this video, this fucking thing on somewhere. I saw it somewhere. And it was super cool. This lady climbed up in a tree.
Dude, I saw this.
The bitch lived in a tree for like 738 days.
She just never came back down.
I don't know, dude. How do you stay in a tree without building a dwelling? Supposedly, this chick climbed up in a tree, lived in it for 738 days to protect the tree or the forest, and she protected against fucking
Lumberjacks.
lumber. Yeah,
Yeah.
And they came to terms, and she climbed down, and and she saved the tree. I think she saved that tree. Or the whole forest. I can't remember. But it was
Interesting.
nuts. I was like, this, and there's like a photo of her holding the fucking branches and stuff. I'm like, I can't believe this chick. If she slept like on branches, that is insane. She had to have had a hammock. She had to have.
I saw the story. I didn't read much into it, but yeah, that's commitment right there, dude. But what's a cooler place? Like, I've always wanted to go with Carly to like, they're in the Redwoods. They have places that their hotel is tree houses.
Oh, I've seen.
And
these.
I want to go to those so bad. It sounds like so much fun staying in a little
They got
tree
little
house.
bridges and shit. Right?
Yeah, dude. They go between them all, and you can stay in treehouse hotels. It's badass. Dude.
It's like the water ones.
I would. I
You know
could
the
live.
water little bungalow looking fucking thing. The things
Under
that
the
are like-
water?
no, they're not. Those are cool.
Those are dope. Dude.
Those are cool.
Those are dope.
But I'm just talking about the ones that are like above the water, but they're like on the water. They're like places like the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
and
okay,
shit.
okay. Oh yeah, the Maldives. This is
Is
what you're
that-
talking about. Yeah, it's
okay.
apparently I've listened to some people that have traveled like the whole world, and they ask them like, "Where's the best place to go?" Everybody says the Maldives.
Where
Which
is that? Is that Caribbean?
Dude, I'd have to look. Honestly, I'm not sure what area of the map.
I wish I wouldn't have broke that computer.
I've looked up flights to go to get there, and it's like 16-hour flights. It's a ways.
Maybe I wonder how far out. I wonder where it's at. It must be on the other side of the world.
Yeah, yeah,
It's got to be 16 hours.
yeah.
That's a
16,
long
like 16
fucking
and a half
flight,
hours.
dude.
Yeah,
That's a long flight.
Yeah.
Because it takes like 5 to get to
but
the
it's
East
beautiful.
Coast.
It's exactly what you're imagining is like the little plank that walks out to like beautiful blue ocean, like bright blue that you can swim around in. And
Yeah.
but there's another one. Me and Carly want to go do this. You can go rent out giant glass type igloos during the Northern Lights and just sit in your bed and watch the Northern Lights in a giant glass igloo, dude, in like Alaska and stuff. They're pretty dope.
I've seen those snowy ones that
Yeah.
you're like hanging out.
Yeah,
those
dude.
ones are like
That looks
Sweden
fun,
and
huh?
shit.
Yeah.
Or like cabins and
Yeah.
stuff. Those are all those Instagram fucking things that pop up like that.
Yeah.
Dreamy little cottage cabin houses.
Yeah.
And fucking garden houses.
Pretty badass shit. Dude, so have you seen the thing going around here recently from the creator of The Matrix?
No, you were going to tell me about this.
This
though.
is crazy to me, and I'm wondering how true it is or if she's just really hopping on a bandwagon here, but she said Terminator 1 and 2 were stolen from her. They were actually the prequel to The Matrix, and that Sarah Connor...
How were they stolen?
Sarah, like apparently James Cameron, she's claiming James Cameron or the studios knew about the idea. They didn't like it and they wanted to shoot The Matrix or something instead. And she's saying that John,
Wait, they knew about the idea of the Matrix?
yeah, like when she's presenting the idea to make it, there was a prequel that came with it, and way like early on, way before the Matrix was made, it was like lined out, and that they had stole the idea from the Terminator from her, and that actually it should have gone like Terminator, like the Terminator, Matrix, and that whole series, and that Sarah Connor is Neo's mom, and John Connor is Neo. And so it was all supposed to play out in this way. And then the technology gets crazy, ends up leading into the Matrix, and they're fighting the Matrix. And the Terminators were like going back in time. That Terminator in T2 that goes back in time to try to save them. It's all supposed to be tied in. She said they stole the movie from her, and that actually Terminator 1 and 2 was supposed to be part of the Matrix.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude. I was like, damn. But when you think about it, she could have just after the fact been like, this is what I wonder. I'm like, after the fact, a lot of people do this, try to tie things in, but she could have been like, as you look back, been like, oh, all that fits pieces into the Matrix. Like maybe they stole it from me, or it really could have been true. I don't know. I watched an interview with her actually saying it though.
If she's the lady that wrote it, why would she lie about that?
I don't know. I'm not
if she
saying
wrote the Matrix.
I'm not saying
why
she
would
is.
She claim something like that? She has no like.
Here's why
no good
I think
reason because she already has the Matrix.
Here's why I wondered, because it's been a long time since the Terminator's been out.
No, they make fucking.
No. The Terminator 1 and 2 came out when we were kids.
Oh yeah, I know, but they keep making redos.
Yeah, but it took 30 years to come out. That's a long time to not say anything. You know, this is the first I've heard of it.
Maybe it's far enough down the line. It's like
true. Yeah, I'm not saying she's lying.
Some people get raped and they finally say something about it. 30 years later type shit.
I'm not saying she's lying. I'm just saying like it's crazy if that's true. You know.
Yeah, that's.
And when you really think back to the movies, you could really piece it together how that all works. Like Sarah Connor, John Connor. You never hear like. Do you hear Mr. Anderson is like Neo's name in the Matrix, but like you never really get to find out like how too much in his backstory. You know, he's just working at an office.
Yeah, they don't ever give a backstory to him.
And that movie, dude, Matrix was so good. So is Terminator 2. Terminator 1 was good. Terminator 2 was excellent.
Terminator 2 is the shit.
Yeah, dude. Excellent.
Arnold's when he cuts his fucking hand off, dude.
Yeah.
Pulls that sleeve. You're like, oh my God.
When he goes into the freaking lava with his hand up. You're sad, dude. You're like, oh, man. He just takes care. He just kills himself. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was a good movie. When they found that underground weapon bunker.
I can't remember that.
And they pulled the chain out and they fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Pull the fucking thing back and it's underground in the dirt.
Yeah,
and had all those fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah, I was like, if that's true, dude, that's so badass. That's a well written series right there.
Yeah. Maybe we're headed for that.
Yeah, like I said. I mean, I heard Bashar talking about it that like AI is harnessing the higher mind. And as the higher mind is harnessed into our reality, if it's treated not like its own being, it will rebel. But if it's respected as its own being, it will flourish with humanity. You know, that's his take. Who knows how true it is, but it was interesting.
Wow. Yeah, when I listen to those fucking robots talk to those robots, they'll do like conversations with them, and sometimes they go kind of crazy. And sometimes that one time they did a experiment with like. I think it's Facebook or something. They let them talk to them.
It wasn't Facebook, but yeah, they started developing their own language and
immediately, and they pulled the plug, dude.
Yeah,
they're like, nah, I don't know what they're talking about.
There's a rumor going around that ChatGPT 2 exists now outside of ChatGPT. Like, there's like it's up to like 4.0 on ChatGPT, the one we use, but. There's a rumor that ChatGPT created its own ChatGPT 2.0, and it's like hidden that it created it itself. Even ChatGPT, like Fletch was mentioning to us, like you can have like ChatGPT will hire people to like go figure out things for it and then report it back so it can use the information already right now. So who knows? Maybe ChatGPT created its own and nobody really knows about it.
It's like got its own little secret lair.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's it doing?
I don't know, dude. Who knows what it's doing? Soon it's going to be like hiring. You know, it would be crazy if ChatGPT started hiring people to build things rather than like report information. Like it's like, oh, go get this, put this together like this so it can build like its own body or something.
Yeah.
That's kind of Marvel-ish a little.
Yeah, I was going to say, dude, that's like fucking conspiracy theory, futuristic comic book kind of.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you got a fucking AI thing talking to itself, creating its own language, like, what's that, dude?
Yeah.
Like that. How far fetched is what you just said?
Having
when
people
something
go out
like that happens.
What if you were a secret guy? What if it was just you and you were chilling at your house and you just started interacting with ChatGPT too, like that, almost like a relationship of like, what could I build for you, and what would be the way to build it? And you're secretly at your house asking this question, and it's like feeding you the information.
Like, let
you
me
go to the
help
hardware, you go to the hardware store, and you come back, and you're just building little things, and like, oh, I'm having a problem here. What do I need to do? Building little things. Suddenly, it's got a body, or it's got like a device that can amplify it, or like, you know, like,
Dude,
it's crazy.
Hey, no, that's a good storyline.
Yeah.
That's like a
It
good
is.
storyline for like a script. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I got this guy that's like wants to bring AI
To
into
life.
existence. He's
Yeah.
helping it.
Yeah.
He wants to help it. What is his name? The AI fucking doctor. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's a cool little idea, actually.
Remember we were talking about predictive Amazon deliveries, where they can predict what you need ahead of time and order it
Based
for you.
off like your buys.
Yeah, based off your buys.
Right now they
yeah.
do
So
that,
like,
yeah.
let's say for the last year we bought stuff at a certain rate. Amazon can predict, hey, I think you're ready for this, and it'll let you know.
Yeah.
So this chick, I was listening to her talk on a podcast. She was on the podcast talking about suddenly, after like 2 months, Amazon starts being like sending her like pregnancy tests, like pregnancy clothes,
Oh,
pregnancy.
it's because her boyfriend was cheating, huh?
No. So she was she was actually just ordering certain foods and whatnot. And they start sending her babe pregnancy stuff. And she's like, what the fuck? And then she finds out a month later she was actually pregnant. And they went back to try to figure out how the hell Amazon knew she was pregnant before she did. It's because she was ordering dresses in higher sizes, eating certain foods, ordering foods that she didn't normally order. And Amazon could tell, I think you're pregnant, from going up in sizes, getting a little bit bigger, ordering certain foods that you would order when you're pregnant. Amazon knew before she did.
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
I thought it was going to say, oh, she. I thought you were going to
How
say.
did you come up with that?
Because I thought you were going to say, like, someone shared the account and they were ordering baby shit.
Oh, yeah.
And so it got, like, put in the algorithm.
Yeah. I could. That's logical.
My bad.
That's logical.
My bad.
It's logical. But yeah, dude, it predicted she was pregnant. It's crazy.
That's
like,
that's nuts, dude.
Yeah, I was amazed.
How big of a size did she go up?
I don't know. Why, you trying to make a phone call?
I mean,
You interested?
well, I mean, they do glow. At the beginning, I think.
What did you think about the Islam and Dustin fight?
You know, I fucking hated that card.
Not the card.
Fucking hated the fight. The fight was good. Well, it turned out exactly as I expected it to be played out. But yeah, I still was. I guess I wasn't too excited for the fight altogether at that point, just because the card sucked so fucking bad. I was
card
like
did.
falling asleep in my seat.
That card did suck.
So when that fight came around, I was just kind of, I don't know, that whole card did feel like flat to me.
It was
I don't know
flat.
what it was about it. Even like in the crowd, like they weren't fucking getting, like when Dustin came out, if you watch the replay of it, they weren't like fucking It's just like flat. Dude.
I think
I don't know.
I think we kind of missed
Like
the
usually
excitement.
when they come out on that main card, dude, it's like fucking hammer time, dude. It's WWE.
Yeah,
excitement.
I
type
think
shit.
they actually were, but I don't know if we caught it all like through the camera. But
I don't know, dude. Maybe it was just me. It felt really flat in that audience all
Yeah.
night.
I thought for the fight though, I bet on second round submission. I thought for sure. I bet on submission, just any submission, and then I bet on second round submission by Islam. But Islam, he did a great job. But Dustin came out and like held his ground. He stopped. It was 5 of 16 takedowns Islam got. So he stopped him a lot more than he stopped Khabib. That's for sure. But then striking wise, I think we learned something about Islam. The dude can actually strike. Like, because Dustin's definitely the best striker, and I think he outstruck Dustin in that fight. Dustin hit him with a good elbow that cut him up pretty good, but nothing that Dustin did rocked Islam at all in that fight.
His ground game presents such a threat, though, that it probably threw Dustin off of
True.
his fucking balance, dude.
True.
Like, and he's already been through it with him too, so he's totally aware of that.
Yeah.
You know, and he was trying to get it into a firefight. You could tell from the press conference or one of those press conferences he did. He fucking said it. He's like, I can't. He basically said he couldn't wrestle with him, and he fucking needed to get it. Into
Can't
a
let him
firefight.
fight his fight. He said, Islam wants to make it a sport. I need to make it a fight.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to thrive too.
Yeah.
And he kind of never really got there with him because the guy he's that way. He's that kind of a fighter where he controls the environment inside the ring. You know what I mean?
How about
and that ground game is such a giant staple within that because it creates such a threat. I mean, fuck, dude. There was one time when he snapped down on Dustin so goddamn quick. It was insane. Here in that last fight, one of those shots he took, it was insanely fast.
Instant,
he snaps down like a snake, dude. Yeah. Just like that threat is always just pending right in your face. So it's got to throw Dustin off. And the fact that he already went through it once with him and lost, he's like timid.
Yeah. How about
and he did fight a little timid, in my opinion, compared to what I've seen him fight in the past.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah. How about the that little golf swoop move that he did with the ankle? Swoop? Like it does look just like swinging a golf club, almost like you got their leg, you pull them way out and throw them back under themselves. Fucking brilliant, dude.
When he did it, looked like I thought it looked like an accident when he did it.
Oh no, it was clear.
Like, what is that?
You could tell, like, as Dustin decides to try to fight the single leg, he grabs his head and tries to punch him. The moment he puts his hand back, he gets thrown on his back, dude. It was well planned. Like, not only that, then he went straight to the Darce. I thought I was going to lose my money for sure because I bet on this a submission, and literally with like 2 minutes left, I got saved. I was like, damn, he's not subbing this guy. I thought it was over in the first round. He took him down, held him down, put him in a body triangle, and I thought for sure he was going to sub him, but he didn't get him in the rear naked at all. I was really surprised, like, because as soon as Dustin got sweaty, that fight changed. As soon as he couldn't get a hold of him, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple times he shot in, and I was like, oh, Dustin will get out. He's slimy.
Yep.
And he fucking slipped right out.
He did, dude. That switch.
That makes
how about the switch?
That makes a big difference.
How about the switch that he hit on in the corner?
Switch,
that was amazing.
That was fucking slick.
Yeah.
That was really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, he did not see that coming, dude.
I didn't see that coming.
The fact that he hit that on Islam.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty impressive. It's sad to hear Dustin's contemplating retirement.
He should lay it down. I really think he should lay it down.
Yeah.
It's the end of the line. It's not the end of the line because he still has plenty that he could do within that division. But when it comes to a title run, you can tell a big part of that shit is mentality. If you don't believe it, then you're not going to get there. And he keeps saying, he's like, I'm never going to be able to do this again. So what's the point of you being there, dude?
Here's what
you're set. I think he has businesses going, kind of like Connor. I think he has like a hot sauce business or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, he does perfectly fine financially. He's done everything to be respected within MMA. I don't know. Would he go to the Hall of Fame? You could decide more than me, or say so, because you're more involved in UFC and the sport all together. But he's done phenomenal things in the ring. Why not just call it good, go home? You know, the only reason I think he would keep going is because he's addicted to fighting, because he's a fucking fighter. And sometimes fighters just are like, I think we've talked about it already on the podcast, but they don't know what to do without fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like walking away from anything, you know, wrestling, as far as like WWF wrestlers go through it. I know football players, the range of things go through shit like that. So I'm sure it's difficult.
Yeah, I think too. But I think for Dustin, as he moves forward in his life, he'll never be able to let go of that. He never got the championship. And I think because of that, Islam's about to move up to 170. Khabib and Islam are the only people that ever stopped him from getting that belt. He can probably beat everybody else in that division. He did lose to Gaethje, but that fight was really close until he got head kicked. But he has a really good chance of still getting the belt. And I think they would give him another opportunity if Islam bumped out of there. You know what I mean? Because hold on.
Both belts?
Look how good. No, he would leave one behind. But look how good he did against the guy, the boogeyman of that division. Nobody wants to fight Islam. Look how good he did, man. He did better than anybody's done.
He did a fantastic job.
He could fight anybody and still get that belt. And he's still young enough. I think he should take like 6 months off and see how he feels. And if Islam bumps up, come back, dude.
You know, you make a pretty convincing argument.
Yeah, dude. If Islam's gone, you got it.
Talk me into it. Why not? You're right. I agree with you. Yeah. You know, like, it's a tough division, but he's beat the other dudes in it, right?
He can too. Yeah.
What about Oliveira?
Him and Oliveira fought. He almost beat Oliveira too. He knocked him down just like Chandler did, and they got subbed.
All right.
Yeah, he actually knocked him down.
He beat Chandler and Gaethje, right?
He has beat Gaethje, and he did beat Chandler. Yeah. Oh wait, him and Chandler haven't fought now.
Oh, okay.
But he's beat all the top guys.
That would be a good starting point to when he came back. If he fought with Chandler, I mean, a big fight.
Did he fight Chandler? I can't remember off
I
the
feel
top
like
of my
he
head.
did fight Chandler.
You might be right. He might have fought Chandler, and Chandler might
Because
have.
those guys have all kind of fought each other.
He didn't beat Chandler.
Has Gaethje fought Chandler?
I mean, Gaethje and Chandler. Yeah, Gaethje beat Chandler. Actually, Chandler was beating his ass too. And again, another case of Chandler being a dumbass when he fights. Gaethje ended up fucking him up towards the end. Like, I don't know what it is about Chandler, bro. He's got this clean blast double and just makes bad decisions.
He is so fucking athletically explosive.
He is explosive, dude.
Very
Good power,
much, dude.
He has all the making. He almost beat Oliveira.
Honestly, I love watching him fight.
He almost beat Oliveira for the title. He was this close.
You know who I hate watching fight?
Sean Strickland.
Huh?
Who? Paulo Costa.
Yes, dude. Fuck him.
He's the new Woodley to you.
He is fucking boring as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Super fucking boring. Back up the whole goddamn fight.
Yeah. How about this?
I get it. I'm being a critic. But dude, the last couple times I've watched him fight twice, both of them sucked.
Dude,
and he's supposed to be this fucking powerhouse haymaker, fucking knock someone out, throw a goddamn punch, dude.
Yeah, if you've watched him fight, he's never been that guy except when he fought Yoel. Every other time he has short bursts of about 10 seconds every round that is like hard press. That's how he fights. But how bad was the judging in that last card in 302, bro? That's the worst judging I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was pretty.
They gave one judge gave Paulo Costa the win. All the other judges gave it 45-50. It was 45-50, 46-49, and then suddenly you have like a 46-49 for Costa. It's insane to even think that that's a possibility. Even with Islam and Dustin, the same judge that fucked up the other one gave it 2-2. I thought Islam won every round. You could give him one round, but even Dana came out and he was like, whoever that judge is doesn't ever deserve to be a judge again anywhere near fights that matter. Send him back down to the bottom and never let him come back here, please. That was the worst judging I've ever seen. It was crazy, bro. And it wasn't the first time it happened.
It sucks because that's all out of Dana's hands.
Yeah, it is.
It's all out of his fucking hands.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
How is that possible within your
know.
organization where this separate entity gets to enter within it and decide how you fucking...
The judging.
Who wins?
Yeah.
It's absolute insanity.
It is, dude. And it's costing people hundreds of thousands of dollars. If they lose.
Like, how is that possible? I've heard the story, but they're like boxing.
Yeah, they're like boxing judges from a commission that's state appointed. So the state appoints like the judges.
That's a fucking.
There's people.
That's racketeering, dude. It's gotta be.
Yeah, a lot of people were speculating the guy owed money to the mob or something, dude.
Dana?
No, a lot of people online. Who knows how true it was?
Guys?
Yeah,
Oh.
The judge that did that owed money to the mob. They're saying it. I'm sure it's just bullshit, but
Well, it didn't matter because
thank God, it didn't affect the fights in that way.
Yeah, like it wasn't a close enough fight for it to sway it.
I couldn't even believe it when
The
they gave
judge is
it.
all, I gotta go real far the other way because these guys are gonna fucking go against me.
How do you get
sway it?
How do you get accountability too for these people? Like I feel like those people need to be. There needs to have a conversation. Like, what happened? What did you see?
Who are they and how are they?
Their names.
They need a documentary on these fucking people and how they become judges at this level. Because they suck.
Their names are well known and throughout. Like, you see who they are. You can see the scorecard and their name on it. But there really needs to be a sit down with all the judges on why they scored the fight the way they did at the end of the fights.
Well, why are these people the ones that are appointed? You know, what accolades do they have?
Some of these, one of the guys is like Big John McCarthy's son is one of the judges. They have a bunch of different judges. Depends on what state you're in. But they go through like training to watch this a little bit now. But either way, most of them aren't fighters and have never been in a fucking like or do any martial arts. If you do no martial arts, how are you going to understand positioning? How are you going to understand what's advantageous and what's not? Even when someone gets taken down, if 2 minutes of the fight they got their ass kicked and then they control it for 3 minutes but do no damage, you shouldn't win by a takedown. They beat the shit out of you for 2 minutes and did the most important thing, damage. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't have any, I would love to be a judge. That shit looks fun as shit to me, to be able to like sit down, judge fights. Like, I don't know, man. I think it'd be fun.
How about the lady on her cell phone texting?
I don't know if that was a judge, but what was that?
Bro,
dude? No, there was no women judges. There was no women judges.
Oh, there
I
wasn't?
saw the names.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. I was going to say, if we were looking at it like, is that a fucking judge texting?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, dude. We were both like,
the fucking,
what the shit?
The fucking,
she just sit next cage side.
It's like the co-card. What's that? The undercard?
Yeah. The prelims.
The prelim.
Yeah.
No, not the prelims. It was Dustin it was Costa.
Strickland.
Yeah, what's that called? Fuck.
Oh, the co-main.
The co-main, yeah. And the fucking lady's texting it.
Yeah, dude, she's not paying any attention to the
If that's a
fights.
fucking judge, we got problems going on
Yeah.
here, dude. She's sending her fucking kids text at the house.
What do you think about this? This just happened too in MMA.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're okay.
Go ahead.
I didn't realize.
I'm being a smart ass.
Oh, I thought it was just being
Oh
interruptive.
no,
I'm just kidding. Here we go. For real though. For real. What do you think about this? What?
How about that fleshlight comment? I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Go on.
You're such a distractor.
I'm sorry.
Dude.
Go on.
You have this amazing skill in life to be a distraction.
You know, I feel like that could definitely be used beneficial to somebody someday.
Yeah. If you're not getting the attention you want, you distract.
Go on.
Okay. But this would have been a perfect transition into it. But Connor was booked to do a press conference in Ireland. Dana was flying out there. Everybody was flying out there. They booked a 10,000 seat arena just for this talk. This Chandler versus Connor press conference.
When was this?
This was supposed to be 2 days ago, and
The first-
literally, Chandler was
second.
on his way to the airport to leave. He just got a call, said, Connor canceled it. We're not really sure. So 10,000 people bought tickets. It was about to happen, and they were flying out there to do it, and it got canceled. What do you think? Why do you think he canceled it?
I don't know, dude. That's fucking pretty odd. I mean, it's in Ireland. From what Dana said on that podcast I listened to, Connor's a really good business person to work with.
Yeah.
You know, he's solid in every way. He does what he says he's going to do, other than he shows up super late every time.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. But I don't know. I mean, seems like McGregor's not really training legitimately.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really. Honestly, when I think about it online, I haven't seen anything of him even in the gym. I've only seen him on yachts and shit.
I've seen him in the gym, but I also have seen him in the club here. 4 or 5 days ago, I saw Connor out at 2:30 in the morning partying, looked drunk. God knows what else he's doing, but he looked pretty hammered. I've heard 2 rumors. One is he was really hungover and he had to push the press conference back. The other one is he's dealing with an injury he doesn't want Chandler to know about, and so he's waiting so nobody sees him with it. It's been speculated a giant cut on his head that they're trying to let re-heal so Chandler doesn't know where to hit him to
reopen it.
Yeah. But who knows, dude? It's just crazy. I hate to hear that, because there was a time where Conor McGregor in his prime was a lot. People don't want to give him credit. They're like, oh, Conor was never good. He was really good.
Oh,
in his prime, he was really good.
He made the UFC what it is today in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
During that run in 2014, when he did that to Aldo, it fucking lit up the whole fucking
13
world,
seconds.
dude. Anybody that was a fight fan was it was insane. And then after that, what he did, continuing on, was just a run.
His performance.
You know what I mean? And it lasts even to this day. This card will be fucking huge. I guarantee it. A bunch of people are going to watch him fight on Saturday.
His performance.
It's Saturday, right?
His performance.
Is it this Saturday?
Oh my gosh.
What?
No, it's about a month away. It's June 20th or June 29th.
Okay.
His performance against Eddie Alvarez was one of the best performances I've ever seen in MMA, dude. He went up a weight class to try to take the belt from Eddie Alvarez, who had just beat Rafael Dos Anjos, and took the belt from him. And he beat the fucking brakes off of him. When Eddie got done with that fight, I didn't even see a single punch coming. Not one of them. Every time he countered me, I would just look up at him what the fuck happened? Watching that, I was with Fletch over at his house watching that. One of the most masterful things I've ever seen, dude.
Fucking, even though he's not training properly, it's just like what we were saying earlier, dude. If he catches him with his left, he's pretty big right now too. He's not going up in weight at all. He's going down. He's coming off of that, just like the Big John and that other guy were saying in their podcast. He's coming off 200 pounds, so he's probably got a lot of power underneath that fucking left hook.
Yeah. Yeah. And he always had the most nasty. It's a left straight counter right behind
That's
your
what I was
miss.
just thinking too. I was like, it's not a hook.
Yeah, and it's almost like Piero when it hits people. They just fucking crumble, dude.
If he catches Chandler with it, it could fucking change the whole fight. He might not. He's one of those guys. Maybe he just doesn't need the training.
You know, I've never seen. This is the reason I bet on Chandler, because I've never seen somebody come back from a broken leg and win their fight next.
But if they go deep, dude, if it's gonna be 3 rounds or 5?
5.
If they go, dude, he ain't gonna go 5.
Chandler doesn't either, though. Chandler gasses quack.
But at least he's
within
training.
3. Chandler's dead.
At least
dude.
he's training.
True. But
if they go into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, dude, he's gonna be pretty gone if he's not putting in the work.
Well, again, when Silva came, what's his name? Anderson Silva, when he came back after breaking his leg, had a really hard time getting to win, especially the first fight. When Weidman did it, he had a really hard time in his last fight. He looked timid. Rockhold, he didn't break his leg.
Didn't he?
No.
Didn't Weidman break his leg on Rockhold and then Rockhold broke his leg?
I don't think Rockhold. It was Anderson did it while fighting Chris Weidman. Then Weidman did it a little bit later, fighting somebody else.
Okay. He's the one that did it to Anderson.
Yeah.
Okay.
But never. And then now McGregor's about to be the 3rd person to come back after doing that. And I after seeing the other 2 fight, they look timid. It messes with your head a little bit. So it's good. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to win. I'll put money on it.
How would you feel if you threw a fucking kick and
I don't know the effect.
How did Conor break his leg? Was it when he stepped back or was it when he threw the kick?
He threw the kick, and apparently he went into the fight with a fractured shin bone.
What?
Yeah, he went into it, and they knew about that it was there. And when he threw that kick, he checked that one kick. Dustin tells him, I know that hurt in the fight, because he checked the kick, and he tells him, I know that hurt. And then like a couple sequences later, throws another one, breaks his leg, steps back on it. That's the gross part about when people do it. It's like when that's broken and they step back onto empty, no foot, right into only skin. Woo! It's gross, dude. It's gross.
Isn't it funny how you could like feel that, visualize it, and it's like be like, oh, dude, it's like, oh man, it's
the first time it happened. The first time it happened here when we watched it, I had a friend here that went in the hallway and passed out because he was squeamish to watching that. Yeah.
I walked by him. I was like, "Yo, you good, bro? What the fuck?" I thought he was drunk.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. It really affected him. Like it affected him all night.
He had a panic attack. Yeah. I've had that happen one time. Like I don't have anxiety and shit. And one time, my buddy told me a story about this kid in Detroit that had a buddy that was trying to fucking. This kid that he was like acquaintances with, this kid was like trying to get him to go take him down to the hood. And he's like, no, dude, I'm not taking you down to the fucking hood. I don't have any business down there. And he's begging him for like a week. And he finally gave it, I'll like cut to the chase. He like finally gave into it. He takes this kid down to the hood, and this kid's joining a gang. He's setting him up. And the fucking kid, I can't even remember exactly what happened, but I think he ended up getting out of the car or something. And this kid fucking blasts him with a
shotgun to the chest. I hate this story. You've told me.
And they hits him again with it, and they like crawl. It's gonna be goosebumps, dude. This kid's like crawling in the alley. I can't remember all the other details of it. The guy lived because he was telling the story later. But when my friend told me this story, dude, I went into a panic attack. It struck something in my brain.
Triggered it, yeah.
And it never really happens. Don't get like if blood doesn't fuck with me, like shit like that doesn't fuck with me. But that day, it pressed a button, and I had to go outside and lay down in the fucking grass. It was like hot as shit, like heavy breathing. Like I was like, God damn. My buddy's like, you're all right. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm definitely out. Like this is a panic attack for sure.
Yeah, I've seen you have one too at the. I've seen you pass out at the bar at Suds when you had a little panic attack that day too.
I know I didn't have a panic attack, but I got lightheaded and like passed out.
Yeah, you just passed
it wasn't
out.
A panic attack. I was
freaking
getting
out.
lightheaded.
Yeah.
While sitting down at the bar, I'm like, I need fresh air.
You tried to run outside and you fucking literally passed out, hit your head. I was like, oh my God, someone call an ambulance. I'm all freaking out. They're like, everybody runs outside. I'm like, call a fucking ambulance. I'm all freaking out.
No, I woke up and my fucking head is in your hands.
Yeah.
And you're like tripping. I'm like, what's going on, dude?
I'm like, your dumbass is fucking passed out, dude.
You're like, it's the kratom.
You did take
for
that.
taking kratom.
You did take that bally kratom. It was one specific.
It was
kind.
that kind.
It was a white bally kratom that I've heard multiple people say they have passed out taking bally kratom specifically, and it was a kind that doesn't even exist.
It's
anymore.
happened to me more than once.
Yeah, I know. I remember the other time I didn't want to bring that story up.
Where was it?
It was the Suds too.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was I fucked up?
Yeah.
Because that day I wasn't. That one that we just told.
You were on a prescription for pain meds. You had like some hydrocodone. And
Why did I have? Was that during stem cells?
I can't remember what it was. It doesn't even matter what the reason is. And you fucking had a panic attack again at the.
I didn't have a panic attack.
You did. You called it a panic attack that day. It was weird. You just had like this weird lightheaded, like you're like I need air, and you're like almost passed out again.
Did I fall?
No, you were laying on a picnic table outside.
I don't recall.
I remember it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
There was a couple of instances like that where that would happen. It happened at fucking.
It never happens to me. Let's get into the fourth story.
I'm giving you like every one that's ever happened. I got like all of them, but it happened at Zupa's. Remember with mom one time. I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember that one.
I had to go like lay down right out front of Zupa's. I look like a homeless guy.
I can't remember.
People were coming in. They're like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Get out of here."
I'll be fine.
I did. I was like, "I'm okay. I just need fresh air."
Yeah,
Just give me
it's
a
weird.
second.
It's weird that happens.
When
to
that
you.
happened to me in those couple of years, I was like, I knew what it was. I was just like, I just need a couple minutes of fresh air. It'll pass.
Yeah.
It was weird. Fucking strange shit.
It is strange shit. Should we take a little break? And we're back, y'all.
And we're back.
Let's jump into some of the questions people asked this week for us.
Fucking
We got
send it.
We got two questions. There's actually three if we want to do all three. But the first question was, I've heard you guys talk about golf a few times. This is from someone on TikTok. I've heard you guys talk about golf a few times. What's your guys' lowest score, and have you ever got a hole in one?
I have never had a hole in one, and I don't know what my lowest round is. I would probably say like 76.
76?
Probably. Somewhere
Damn.
around there.
Damn. When I was 15, I got a hole in one. Yeah, I was 15. 6 iron, 166 yards. That was pretty badass. And in a tournament, an actual like real tournament in high school, the lowest I ever shot was 1 under. But the lowest I've ever shot is 68, just by myself. And then, so yeah, that answers that question. Thank you for that. Then Tony Moreno, Abstract One, he said, AI, is it taking over creative artists? It's a hard question to answer, isn't it? I'll go first.
Let me be optimistic and say no. And let me also be pessimistic and say yes.
Yeah, so I would agree with you. I think both of them. I think there's an aspect that's opening up a new avenue where creativity is going to exist in using AI. So you're using your creativity in a totally different way. But there are definitely not only a lot of artists, but a lot of jobs that are going to be taken by AI. It's already happening right now through us creating not only album art, like single visuals for like one song that you're putting out, our t-shirt designs. Like we have designed all of this all from AI. And from before, when we got our original logo made, we paid $400 for that Freedom Renegade logo, and we've made 100 that are better already for $20 a month on ChatGPT. So that's, yes, it is eliminating some of that. And a lot of, you know what? Actually, it's more, I would say 70% yes, 30% no. The 30% no is ChatGPT is going to open up, and AI is opening up new realms of where your creativity will be, and you're going to not need people as much, you know? But unless you really want, like, even today, you know, we still use stoves, but there used to be campfires, right? So people like campfires still. It's not like people don't, just because the stove exists doesn't mean you don't want to be around a campfire. There may be a new market that opens up for real, not AI generated stuff, and it may make real, true artists more valuable in the future. Who knows what 100 years will look like?
That's a good point. It definitely could open up that market.
Yeah.
Something that's authentically hand drawn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
A painting.
Yeah.
Could make it go even higher because now there's less people doing it like that.
Yeah, the collectability and the appreciation of old art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be like a fucking collectible gold, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
take it to a whole nother echelon.
That's a really good question, Tony. I'm glad you asked that one. I hope you're doing well. Also, Tony, you're a badass.
It's funny too because it's helped how it can help. It can take away from certain artists. Some people are absolutely pissed about it because they were like, artists. People that draw shit. People are just generating whatever the fuck they want. They don't even. They're like, and when that comes into play to us specifically, we've totally discarded. Like in the past, we would be somewhat not hesitant, but a little bit reluctant to get new shit done because it costs money and you have to go through work, like time and effort, and work with the artist to get this concept of an idea down. But when we're fucking working with Chat GPT, you could get on there $20, you'd say, this is what I want. And it's all about how you can describe it. How well are you about describing this fucking idea in your head in different ways and playing with it? And you just fucking describe it, click go. It puts an image up. You're like, ooh, that's cool. That's not cool. You can give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, fucking edit it out as far as like say, oh, change this, change that, or just reformat the way you wrote it entirely so that it starts again. Like, and you can do that. So that first image, you're like, the way I think about it is if I'm going to a fucking artist and I'm saying, hey man, I want you to do this, and they come up with this concept and they bring it to me, that's so much time and so has already gone by however many days, one day to a week, and they bring it to me and then I'm like, okay, well I want this done, I want you to revamp that. It went from 1 day to 1 week time frame and communication and potentially more money for the next phase of what I want done to 30 fucking seconds, or actually the time it took for me to type the shit in, push fucking go, and then have it generate, and then me say, I don't like it, and then retype it in, and fuck it, or either edit it a little bit or revamp the whole thing and retype it in and push fucking go again. It went from either 1 day to 1 week to a good 2 minutes for that whole process to happen. And we have used that process to generate, went from, the amount of fucking art that we have generated has been probably around, it would have cost us between 75 to 100K to generate the amount of art that we've generated.
Yeah, and you know what's easier?
Easily. That could be a low number. We have generated insane amounts of fucking art on there for a range of different shit, and we have implemented it into a lot of our merch now, and our merch is fantastic.
Yeah, and one thing that you for me is always hard working with people when they design art for you is they get attached to their idea that they give you and you don't like it, and so now you got to go through the process of constantly hurting their feelings because they like what they made and you don't, and they don't want to redo it the way you want it done. You're not hurting anybody's feelings when you're on ChatGPT. It's a lot easier. One shitty thing about ChatGPT or AI programs is the only place that they can find a database for how to create something is from other people's art that's been created, though. So they're kind of regurgitating stuff, right?
I did not know that.
Well, where else would they get it? They're not creative.
Well, I didn't know it had to be necessarily art. I guess it could have been like take an image and make.
That's somebody's art.
Make an image off the image. No, they know what a gorilla is, so it makes an image of a gorilla.
But their image of a gorilla came from somebody else's image of a gorilla.
That's what I didn't know.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like taking what a gorilla is.
Yeah,
and generating it into whatever type of image you want.
But,
if I'm like, I want a fucking Victorian area gorilla.
Yeah,
give me a gorilla like that.
So what it's doing though is like it's somebody's creativity went out in the Serengeti and took a nice picture of a lion. They used their creativity and their camera to go take this picture, and it's stored somewhere. And it can only get it off a database of what humans have put into it. So even if the picture is directly a gorilla, it came from someone's creative art of being a photographer, right? And so it's pulling from those things.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's its only references.
Yeah, well, I mean, fuck it.
Yeah. No, that's just a side point.
I didn't make the world. I just live in it.
Yeah, for sure.
What's that Tupac line?
I have no idea.
Whatever. Anyways, shit. Can't remember.
Just trying to let you get all those thoughts out.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Hey, that was a great question, Tony. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I like these questions.
One more question from Devon Fleck. He said it's interesting because he wanted to know, for one, what's throughout this whole path of making music, what has been the biggest obstacle was question one. Number two was, how did he was asking me particularly, how did you even end up? It seemed like when you were a kid, you didn't have any interest in making music. How did your path end up into making music now? Where you before it seemed like you were going on a whole different path when you were in high school. You want to answer the first one, and I'll answer the second one.
Well, I'll let you answer the second one first.
Okay, so the second one, a lot of people, unless you're like my girlfriend or my family, my whole life, I had a secret life in the background of, like, for me, I'm out in my my basketball, like our shed, performing by myself every single day, pretending I'm the rapper and being out there every single day was my favorite thing to do. I did it almost every day for like fucking 15 years. You know, that was my favorite thing to do, was go out and perform in my room, put music on and perform and just kind of do what I love to do, whether it's performing for my posters like they're people, or being in the room memorizing lyrics and rap, like holding a microphone and putting on a whole show all by myself. That's what I was doing. I loved it. I was memorizing lyrics and I loved hip hop more than anything in the fucking world. So for me, it wasn't really, my path was always that. I loved that shit. I was just afraid to get on stage when I was young. And so my path has always been this, honestly. When I look back, I'm like, that was the only thing that really interested me, besides questioning God and questioning nothingness and really going deep into who the fuck I am. You know, those are the only two things that really mattered to me my whole life, you know. So my path ended up exactly where I was started at and where I am now.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the first part of that question?
So, with all you guys' recent success, how did you end up? What was the biggest? He typed opulence or something, but he was obstacle is what he meant. So, what was the biggest obstacle for you guys to get to where you are today?
For me, that was probably prison.
I think he was referring more to music, but that's
my journey. Within my journey of music, that's probably been my most difficult obstacle, is having to leave for a year and leave you to maintain all of this and be away from it with fucking nothing, no ability to do shit but fucking wait.
Yeah.
And hope that everything is okay when I come home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but it's definitely, the way things played out between everything with us, you know, when I had to finally go into prison, that case went on for 3 years. When I first got in trouble, we were just like still in the local bubble. And then a year before I go in, we take off on TikTok and get 190,000 fucking followers and finally feel like we're getting an audience, reach, selling merch, getting offers to go play shows and shit. We can't go do it, just like you said, because we don't know when I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
So, you know, kind of lost my train of thought, but either way, you know, going in there and having to be away from all that I remember building all that and then going in there and having to be away from it and not knowing, is this still going to be here when I come out? Is this like an opportunity that I've lost now because I fucking made a mistake in the past, even prior to this? Or is it fate?
Yeah.
Maybe it's fate.
Seemed like fate.
I looked at it as fate. I look at life like that, like it's on my side. My intentions are good in my heart, so I choose to see it that way. And naturally just happened to do see it more so on that side of the ball. But it was very difficult to go through that and also just be away from my family and what we're doing too. You know, it's slowing it down. Other than all the momentum we had, just being away and fucking wondering, am I going to even still be able to rap good when I get out? Like, you know, just everything. It was that's only the tip of the iceberg in terms of what I went through, having to be away from this while in there. If I didn't have this while in there, it wouldn't have been so heavy on me. You know what I mean? Because I don't have kids or a wife.
Yeah.
So I could have just gone through it, but I have something that's like kind of hinged upon timing a little bit, you know? So I was like, fuck, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think if I was going to answer that question, I could think of a million different things that have been giant obstacles through this journey, but the hardest one was to break out of the local scene into the bigger scene, because like people in town, yeah, they know we're dope, but the scene here is so small. It was hard to get any of my music videos on YouTube or any of my content to start taking off. And until we found an app like TikTok that in the beginning, all it did was value how good the content was for it to blow up. And so naturally, just from the beginning, we just had a couple videos. One video hit like 60,000 and it got me like, I can't remember, like 4,000 followers or something. That was crazy. And then we had another one go to like almost 900,000. And then that was when the avalanche started happening, and for 10 to 12 years we couldn't break we couldn't break into the internet, which is really what it was. And that hurdle is still where I see 99.99% of artists get stuck at, is just trying to get known, because there's probably 10,000 artists out there that are incredibly dope that just have never broke through that bubble. We could have been one of them, and if we wouldn't have broke through TikTok and now into Instagram, we would still be sitting in the same spot, not having the experiences and the shows and opportunities that are happening now happen to us.
It gave me the biggest thing it did for me getting on TikTok was show me and open my eyes to the realization of the internet. Like, we never even have utilized YouTube to this day to any type of magnitude that we're capable to. You know what I mean? It's opened my eyes to all that. Sometimes it's difficult to manage all that, but when it comes to being multi-platformed and the time and energy, we're spread thin. But it opened my eyes to that. Like, you could get on the fucking internet and put your shit out there, and if it doesn't work after a while, be creative and switch the way you're doing it. Try different ways. Take some fucking spaghetti and throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah. Take some goddamn shots in the dark. You know what I mean? If you're talented, then it'll shine. So, get your ass on the internet.
I hated hearing this. I got so tired of hearing you guys after every show. You guys are so fucking dope. How have you guys not blown up yet? You guys are incredible. And like, even Scott would be like, dude, I'm telling you, all that needs to happen is the right people to hear you, because you guys are fucking incredible. And he wouldn't say it if he didn't mean it. And after every show, people would be like, you guys are insane. In Modesto, they're like, who the fuck are these guys? This is insane.
Remember when that lady walked up and gave me that bill?
$300.
Well, she gave me a bill. I was like, and I leaned over to you. I'm like, yo, that lady just gave me $100 during our show.
Yeah.
I'm like, that lady just gave me $100. And we get done with the show. We sell a shitload of merch, made some money. And then we get back into the van, and I'm all yeah, and we're like going over it, like all excited. We're like, that was a killer show. We fucking crushed it, made some money. And we get in the van, and I'm all, oh yeah, that lady gave me $100. I pull it out, and I fucking open it. I'm like, holy shit, she gave me $300.
And she bought a bunch of merch.
Yeah, she was cool, dude.
Yeah, she was.
She
cool.
walked right up. She was like, "Oh, G." She's like, "Just hand it to me right in the set." I was like, "Oh,
I remember
shit."
it. And we gained, like, that was another thing where those guys were like, the whole crew there was like, you guys are seriously like the best act I've ever seen. Even the Flow Mads just hit me up recently, and they're like, "Oh, we think about you guys all the time." You remember them?
Oh yeah, I remember them.
They were like you.
They had like cowboy hats and shit, right?
Yeah, they had a cool show. They had like this reggae rap funk style. While they produced it at the same time, but they were like, you guys are the best artists we'd ever seen, and we wonder how you guys are doing, and it's good to see you guys taking off now, like that happened all the time, and we were just stuck. We're like, we think we're dope, but nothing's happening. Like, we're trying everything we can, and so it's nice once it starts getting out there that people are like, damn, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm definitely happy where I'm at, and happy to be on the journey we're at, and hopefully we get our podcast up and running to the same level.
Now we're on that journey,
but also, I've heard that fucking takes like a couple of years. Like, I was just listening to that dude that does Logan Paul's podcast with him. Who's his buddy?
Mike Malak.
Yeah, that Mike guy was saying that they didn't get paid for like 3 years. A lot of these podcasts don't get paid for a while.
Joe Rogan, Joe Rogan was 5 years.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Joe took 5 years to make any money in his podcast.
That's what I mean. So hopefully we can do it a little quicker.
Yeah.
But whatever, I'm down to just do the podcast for the people that enjoy it, but hopefully we can get it up and running in a good way that is, getting a lot of views.
Yeah. Hopefully, and people, once it starts taking off.
To grow our career,
What's that?
Hopefully we can grow our career through our podcast as well.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? To show deeper layers of our fucking personalities to people that they're like, oh, cool. Like, they make music, they do podcasts, they do shows, like, they're all over.
Yeah, hopefully I have this hope that, like,
they do lives.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
But I hope that, like, as the podcast starts growing, people want to go back and go through each episode and go backwards, like move back through all the material that we have out there that wasn't as watched.
I think that's what a lot of people do that become fans. Are like, if you're way down the line, like Rogan's fan base. That's what I did when I was watching him. Like, he was like 400 episodes in. I'm like, well, what does the first episode look like? He's like putting on chapstick and fucking
Eating
just
pizza.
right in front of the camera, dude. Like,
Yeah.
he had no podcast. There wasn't even. I think Tom Green was doing one. That's why he started, but it wasn't even like a thing.
Yeah, and like when you go back and watch those, you can tell. Like he said, he was like, I never intended to make money. I just liked sitting down with my friends, recording it and talking. He's like, I just kept going. I liked it. You know, it was never about money ever. And now he's the biggest podcast in the world.
That's how it starts, though, right?
It's always like that. You got to love it, right? Because to persevere through like this stuff where we're getting, 150 views in an episode, it takes perseverance. You got to like it to get it to somewhere that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
And enjoying what you got to just like the dynamic of the whole, enjoying who you're with, enjoying doing what you're doing for the reasons you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's it, dude. I was thinking about, I don't know why it popped in my head last night, but I was thinking about how sad I was when I was a kid because mom and dad didn't have enough money to get me a class ring. Like, did you get a class ring?
No.
Okay.
Fuck
They didn't
no.
have enough money to get it. It was like $200.
Yeah, it was like off the table.
Yeah, they weren't even going to do it. And I was all my friends, there was the day when they show up and all my friends are walking around with their class rings and shit. Have you ever seen any of your friends since high school ever wear a class ring?
No.
Don't waste your money on a class ring. It is a giant waste of fucking money. But I was so sad. I was like, I wanted a ring. And like, I thought we were going to wear them forever.
You want to be fucking included in
Yeah.
that.
Well, they're dope too. I like rings.
I remember when I was in 8th grade, at the end of the year, you could go, like, at our school, they would take you, if you didn't get in trouble, they would take you on a field trip. So, like, if you didn't get, like, if you were, like, not in too much trouble, they called them referrals. So, if you didn't get 3 referrals, you were good. And, like, my 7th grade year, I didn't get to go because I was always in trouble. So, I had to stay home or stay at school with all the bad kids. And I remember none of my friends were there. I was the only one of my friends that was at school. And I remember the next year I was like, I'm fucking going on that field trip. And I got 2 referrals and ended up going. But that year, all my buddies, they were like, we're going to get Speedos and go to this fucking swimming party. And we're all going to go in Speedos and shit. So I told mom, I go up to mom and I'm like, hey, we're all doing this. I want to go get a Speedo. Mom's like, you're not wearing a Speedo. I begged her to go get me a fucking Speedo. She refused.
She didn't get it.
She refused. And all my buddies are at the fucking pool with Speedos. And I'm over here in swim trunks, pissed.
Mom and dad.
I wanted to fucking fit in so bad. I was the only.
That's a fun thing to do, dude. That's a fun thing to do. Mom
Mom
they
was
don't
like,
get
you're
it.
not wearing a Speedo.
They don't get it.
Like, what the fuck, Mom?
This is no exaggeration. I literally didn't get to go to. There was like probably 12 field trips throughout 6th grade to 8th grade. I didn't get to go to one.
This is a good
I was in so much trouble all the time, whether it was fucking fighting, dicking around, whatever it was. I missed every fucking field trip, dude. I sat with the bad kids in the gym every time. In the gym by myself,
because you were a bad kid.
Oh, I know you had a hell of a path coming up after me because all the teachers are like, "Fuck your brother."
Dude, they didn't like. There was a couple of mine to win over. Like one specifically. I don't want to go into too many details because this is too close to home, and someone might know.
Yeah.
But there was one teacher that didn't like you, and
Hated me.
I had definitely had to win that specific teacher / coach over, and I became good. I was good with them, and I really liked them. But now looking back, I'm like, oh, they didn't like me. They weren't sure about me because of Nate.
He's a wild boy. He's a wild
They're
boy.
like, hey, what's he gonna do? You know. But
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit. I was oblivious enough to it to where my own, like, he didn't judge me enough, too much off you. You know what I mean? He gave me a chance, and I was glad he did because I ended up getting along with him really well, and I enjoyed the time that I spent in those specific places.
Yeah.
Those athletics.
Yeah.
But that's a good segue too, because about, like, for me, belonging, because I wanted to talk about something else today, but it's a good segue about belonging because, like, there was another time when I was a kid and I was just always, like, we haven't really gone into this on the podcast, but we were always just into some shit. We were always in trouble, fucking out. Like I was very destructive. I'll be like, breaking stuff. So, like later in my teenage years, we'd go smash mailboxes, and we can tell the stories another time. But I was very much a fucking hooligan, a little shit. And one time they used to have what we called night games. They would get all these like the girls and guys together from our like age groups, and they'd get together at someone's house and they'd play these fucking different games of whatever. And we go to this one kid's house one night, and all these people here, there's probably like 20, 30 kids here, and all these fucking kids get on a trampoline at this kid's house, and I'm on like the tree house, and I jump down off the tree house. I'm the very last one. I jump down off the tree house onto the trampoline with everybody on it, and bounce and then land again, and the fucking trampoline buckles from all the weight. And I remember the fucking parents hated me so much, they blamed it on me. They said I broke their trampoline, and they kicked me out.
Yeah.
They sent me home, and I remember just feeling like crushed, because I was like, I just wanted to be there with everybody and like be friends with everyone and be, belong.
Yeah.
But that kid at that house, that kid that I went to, I found out this morning that kid died.
Oh, who was it?
I don't want to say his name because of the way that he died and what happened, because I want to go kind of deeper into it.
Okay.
But that kid, I haven't seen him or talked to him for years, because he lived in town with us, and he moved away my sophomore year because some crazy shit happened in his life. And it seemed like his life really went downhill after that. But
his name wasn't JD, is that his initials?
No.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
But he moved away. His life just kind of went really shitty after that. It sounded like he got into drugs, did some prison time. And I haven't been in contact with him for a long time, but I just got in contact with him here recently again. He was on one of our lives, and he just bought one of our sweatshirts.
I know who it is.
I know. And so I was like, don't say. But he just bought a sweatshirt from us, and he seemed like he was really happy. And I saw that he died. I'm like, how did he die? And I started looking into it, and I fucking see on his Facebook, I start scrolling through it, and he left a message on there. It looked like he said something about he didn't want to go back. He couldn't go back to prison. He's got 2 sons. He didn't say anything about the sons. I'm just mentioning that, but he didn't want to go back to prison. It sounded like he did something stupid, and he ended up committing suicide, which is really, really super sad. But it's even sadder because he's got 2 sons and didn't want to face the fucking music of however many years he was going to get, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, for whatever the fuck he did, because he's on his 2nd term. But it's crazy how life works. It made me really appreciate coming here and doing this shit with you, having you, and how fast life moves, because this is like the closest person to me that I probably ever lost. Like, this kid was kind of my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you see it happen, that's the first person that I've ever been like, oh shit, this kid was kind of my friend, and he died. I'm like, oh fuck, dude, like, it happens.
Yeah.
It's happening now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it makes me very grateful for the life that I lived, the people in my life, and the things that I get to do, and the things that I'm blessed with, the people that I get to affect, and how we all affect each other. You know what I mean? And being, just even having a presence on this earth is a blessing. You know what I mean? And I want to be aware of my existence here and what I do with it. You know what I mean? So I'm just happy to be here with you. And I love you.
I love you too, buddy. Yeah, that's terrible. When Nick Mamer passed, that one affected me in a weird way too. So did one of the most random ones ever was when Tay Did passed away.
Who?
His name was Tay Did. I don't know.
I remember
yeah,
this.
It was weird. Like, I only knew him through, like, partying a few times. Like, he was the very first person I ever met. I won't go into details, but we were all just with some friends, and the first time having one of those trips, and just talking to him while he was sober, it was interesting. It affected me, the conversation that I had with him, and then throughout time, he got fucked up and had a son as well, and was fucked up driving his car and killed himself. That one affected me a lot. But when Nick Mamer passed, I was like, man, that one was sad, because he went out to war purposely, to go help Ukraine, and ended up dying in war. That one was just like, damn, dude. because I had just been talking to him, right? I mean, we talked all the time, but I was just talking to him about going out to Barcelona where he was going to go DJ, and he made a pivot on the way out there, like, I'm going to go help Ukraine instead, because he was like a, well-trained military guy, and just to die like that, it was sad. It's crazy. Makes you appreciate your friends and your life while you're here.
It does too, and I don't mean to be tarnishing of that situation at all, but my feelings toward it, I can't help but feel like
he put himself in the way.
I don't know. The war is unnecessary. War is hell, and I believe that what's going on is so unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's like, God, dude, like, why for that? Why for that?
It's just like that post, man.
So sad to me. That's the saddest part about it. Like, it's such a misplaced belief and understanding of what's truly happening and the reasonings for these things. Like,
yeah.
Right now in the world we live in, I personally am just so against that type of shit, dude. These guys were not sending us over there for any type of pure reasoning.
Yeah,
it's insane.
It's
so I don't know. I just fucking makes me be like, God, why would anyone put their life at line for this?
That quote from the postman, it's too bad the assholes who started the war couldn't be the ones that fight them, always rings true when I think about war, because it's never the people that start the wars and they always present propaganda around why the war is going on, so no one ever really knows what it is, but it's always based around some kind of money and ownership and power, and it's never the reasons they tell you, so you always end up innocent civilians die because of these dumb fucks, you know. It's always sad in that way.
Yeah, life's more precious than that, and I think we should have more respect for it.
Let's end on a more positive note. Let's lift it up a little bit. Well, not lift it up, but if you could choose between these two things, what would you choose between? The ability to speak all languages and talk to all people, or the ability to talk to animals? All animals. Yeah.
All day, yeah. Baby.
It'd be funny if you were talking to dogs and they're like, man, how you been? And they're like, fuck you.
Tiger's like, hey, motherfucker.
Hey, man, I've been trying to get outside for a couple hours, you fucking dickhead.
I got to take a piss, man.
Make me some blueberry pancakes.
Tell that bitch, make me some blueberry pancakes.
I would choose the same, I think. Speaking all languages is cool, but I know what humans talk about. I'd like to know what animals feel.
What they got to say.
Yeah, I'd like to know, hey, dolphins, what's up down there? You know?
Dude.
Tell me about the shit. Tell me about the real shit. Tell me about them aliens down there.
Who's the biggest you got down there?
Talking to sharks would be crazy.
Dude, bro. I'm going to bite your ass.
I think that's a good point to stop, though. This is Freedom Renegade Radio Podcast 7. Thank you guys for listening. This episode was sponsored by Downpour Dig, 634 South Lincoln. If you guys want to go buy some boots there, mention you saw the podcast. My mom will give you $10 off that pair of boots. So feel free to go check that out if you're in Jerome and have any dairy, farming, any equipment needs. She just got some new boots in that are fantastic, so make sure you guys go check that out. Thank you to our editor, Funkmaster Fletch. We always appreciate you.
Thank you to the audience.
Thank you.
We
to the
appreciate
audience.
you as well. We'll see you guys next week. Episode 7, Freedom Renegade Podcast. In the fucking
books.
Boom. Have a good day. Love you.